Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. I hope you have all eaten and drank and are happy. I will try to be as short as possible to not to delay you too long. Barry, thank you very much. I found your presentation inspiring. I will probably raise money tonight. Now, I would like to add some more information or my thoughts to what he was saying. Oil and gas is a limited resource. We are consuming about 83 million barrels of oil a day. In our definition, a giant oil field is about 500 million barrels to a billion or whatever more. That means in about 10 days we have consumed one giant oil field. Do you know how many giant oil fields are being discovered every year?
None.
About 3 on average. We are producing a majority of our oil out of, or 60% of our oil out of a handful of giant oil fields in this world who, admittedly, are probably in the tens of billions. But those oil fields have been producing for decades. Now, we are finding oil, and we are finding oil and gas. Just take Brazil, for example. All the subsalt oil fields in offshore Brazil is great. A few billion barrels here and there. It's great stuff, but it needs hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars of capex to develop. So a barrel today in operating, developing, finding whatever cost you want to add is probably around $60 per barrel. So whenever our oil price drops down to below that, none of this will be economic. So you can imagine if you're involved in developing an offshore field in offshore Brazil for about $1 billion, $2 billion, you need an oil price beyond $100 per barrel. So I can only add to what Barry said before, and I can only talk about oil and gas. Our resource is limited. The share price has to go, my share price has to go up, yes. The oil and gas is limited, our oil price has to go up. Of course, when I say go up, it won't be a straight line, it will be a sawtooth, and it will happen. When? My crystal ball is clear and I know nothing. So let's move on. I will take you briefly through our company, what do we do, where we do it, who is doing it, and how. Now, we are a listed energy explorer. We are headquartered in Perth. Our operational office is actually in Vienna because we operate North Africa and Romania and Italy, and we also have another office in Tunis. We also have about 23% ownership in a gold and base metal explorer, Riedel Resources, based in ASX listed, of course, and based in Perth as well. Now, the board and management team, we have Ian Charkos, 27 years. Myself, I don't want to say the years, it's too much. Paul, our technical director, 20 years, geophysicist. Andrew Childs, we didn't even list his years. And Peter Ironside, also from the mining side. They're all oil and gas people in the industry, and we have close to 200 years of experience, and I think that says enough. Our key strategies, and this is where we believe we differentiate ourselves from other companies, because our corporate strategy is mainly revolving around the fact that we want to have an early entry into high impact exploration opportunities in proven oil and gas basins, especially also where we have or our management team has previous experiences. And we also are intending to commercialize existing discoveries we have in our permits. Our operating philosophy, and this is the main part, we believe we have to operate ourselves, because I'd rather make all the mistakes myself than pay for somebody else's. And the funding strategy is most of what we do, when you go in, you get the permit 100%, you shoot seismic, you work it up, you do all the works necessary, and then when you have the prospects required, you farm them out, and you find people who are interested, who do not have the capacity to actually come back and do it all themselves. So they farm in, and through farming we fund most of our activities. Now, where are we? We have a geographic focus on North Africa on the upper left slide, and it also shows you Romania, where we have our onshore assets. On the right slide, you see the Sicily Channel, which is between Italy and Tunisia, where we have contiguous acreage offshore on the Tunisian and Italian side, between the Cap Bon in North Africa and the island of Pantelleria. We also have an onshore permit in Tunisia, and we also have a permit onshore Romania, which is near the Hungarian and Serbian border. Same. For those of you who want to know more detail, on the left slide we have Romania and the Serbian border. You can see the red blobs are all gas fields, the green blobs are all oil fields. So what it shows you, we are surrounded by activity which has proven oil and gas, which has proven infrastructure, where the geology is known, except that since 89, when Ceausescu was killed, was shot on Christmas Day in Romania, and the revolution basically moved on, nothing has happened. So there is a long time period where no meaningful exploration was done in the area. On the Romanian, on the upper right-hand slide, this is a close-up of where we are, and it is almost like real estate. It's location, location, location. Shells around, Repsols around, ENIs around, and here we are too. Now, why are we here? I think it is pure luck. It's not that we have been so clever and anything else. We made it at the right time to get our hands on the acreage, and that acreage is right between, as I said before, Italy and Tunisia, in an area where wells have been drilled, but again, for quite a long time, nothing has happened. Now, our investment profile, actually, when we consider first the Sicily Channel, revolves around appraisal project, which means something has been discovered and will be appraised. We have, in the Sicily Channel appraisal project, we have 3 gas condensate discoveries. There is the Duga gas condensate discovery, which has been made by Shell in 1981. Lambuca, which is a currently uneconomic gas discovery, which we have drilled 3 years ago. And again, there is Kirkwan, another well which has been drilled by Shell and was an uneconomic gas discovery by then. But in 1981, you couldn't give gas away for free. It was a non-tradable commodity. Nobody wanted to use gas, nobody needed gas, and it was, in addition, offshore. We also have exploration projects in the Sicily Channel. There are 3D seismically defined projects, which is three-dimensional acquired seismic. Sorry, that wasn't me. And we also have 2D seismically defined prospects, both of which are, in addition, combined about 1 billion barrels oil equivalent, which includes oil, condensate, and gas. Our prospective acreage position in Romania is, as I said before, quite underexplored, and it is in a proven oil and gas province. Now, as I said again before, the majority of drilling funds comes from farm-outs, and that also has benefited from our operatorship and our early mover advantage, getting in early, getting 100%, and being able to farm down at a later stage. And as said before also, our board and management has experience in many continents of this world, and our focus is driven by our experience in North Africa and Romania. If we focus now on the Sicily Channel and on the appraisal opportunities, we believe, and when you look at the slide, In black, you see the Carbon onshore area. The red outline shows the Kirkon permit, and the yellow outline, the Pantelleria permit. The gray blobs are the leads and prospects identified, and we have circled in yellow Kirkon, Lambuka, and Duga, which are the appraisal opportunities we have in the future. Now, in total, we believe we have about 254 million barrels oil equivalent identified, most likely prospective resource. In addition, all these other leads and prospects will be identified with additional seismic. The Duga appraisal project, if we go a bit further back, gas resource discovered 1982, 1981, with liquids content of about 80 barrels per million cubic feet and approximately 30% CO2. Now, we have had an independently assessed volume, what you probably would call in the mining industry the chalk, and that arrived at in total 112 million barrel high estimate. And the development attributes we have, it's a condensate rich resource, and the liquids are actually what really will be the cream on the cake. It is very close to market, to shore. It's only about 40 kilometers, and the market is strong. Gas prices in Tunisia are about $9 per MCF, and the market is such that there is a Tunisian government regulation which fixes the gas price to the oil price. We have, of course, also the potential then, once we have established a hub, to tie back Lambuka, to tie back Kirkon, or all the other smaller discoveries which have been made in the area. And a land-based development with the tieback of the offshore will make it significantly better economics. Now, this is a seismic line which also shows you a structure map of the gas field, and we have split the detail of the liquids versus gas, but I will not bore you with this too much. Now, this is a slice through the earth. This is a part of our 3D, and the top line below all this white stuff is the seabed. And then you slice by slice, like a layer, like a cake you might be eating right now. It shows different layers of the earth. The bottom of all of this is in about 6.5 kilometers. All of these levels represent lithology changes, and what does that mean? It means that when the pressure wave goes through the earth, it's exactly the same when you look at a lake. The only reason why you see the surface of the lake, because there's a density contrast between air and water. This is why you see all these lines there, the layers of a cake. And we have these three projects on this one particular line, Lambuka with gas, Duga with gas condensate, and Duga West, which is our current crown jewel, with oil. We also have the Kirkon project, which has identified gas already, or has been identified by Shell in 1981. We shot a few more lines, which has confirmed our suspicion, and this is one of the tiebacks we plan to have to the Duga hub. Now, this is the total exploration potential in general. As I said before, we have near-term objectives to move the significant contingent resource into a reserves category through drilling, and we are continuing to drill in the nearby areas and tying back all the exploration projects we will use. This is now an example of all the projects. What do you need to have a good exploration drilling project? You need a structure in the subsurface, which you could describe as a hill. That has to be capped by a seal, which is usually a shale, and underneath it has to have a source rock, which actually generates all the oil and gas you need. In green and blue is the source rock. In yellow on this slide, you see the sandstones we have as reservoir. And in brown is a seal. Why do we know all of this from just seismic? Well, the Duga well is only 9 kilometers away. So we can tie it back to the seismic, bring it over 9 kilometers, and map it out. So we believe the risk has been lowered quite significantly because we have seismic, because we have a well nearby, and we believe we have a mean resource base of about 200 million barrels, and hopefully by 2015 we'll drill it. Now, as an example what the outcome could be, the expected scenario is that with capex of about $367 million, we can achieve a net present value at 10% of about 1.4 billion. So the numbers are quite staggering. We are not there yet. But then again, we have calculated our oil price only at $90 a barrel. And production, once we drilled the well and developed the thing, could continue in 2017. Now let's move on to Romania, which has much lower capital expenditure numbers. The PATA permit we have received from the government in 2012 is in the western part, in the lowlands of Romania. Oil and gas is in the area. Romania is actually one of the oldest oil-producing countries in the world. And for those of you who are familiar with the oil industry, there is a consulting company, Schlumberger, in the area, in the industry, and Schlumberger has tested their first logging tools of wells in a Romanian well in, I think it was around 1900. Now, why do we like the area? First of all, it's an easy access, it's low-cost drilling, low-cost seismic, and no 3D has ever been shot in the area. As I said before, since 1990, nothing has happened. Now, this is bad for them, but good for us, because now we can go in, shoot new modern seismic, and hopefully close the gap between 1990 and 2013 and find lots of oil and gas. And this is what we're going to do. This is just another example how it looks like in terms of seismic. And this is where, in the past, all these green blobs, oil and gas has been found. What we are going to do is acquire 3D, target different types of traps, which have never been targeted before. Low-cost drilling, what does low-cost drilling mean? 1 kilometer or 1,000 meter of drilling is probably around 1 million euros. So very cheap compared to offshore, and the development costs are in similar low ranges. This is just a few pictures of what we're currently doing. We're shooting seismic, and you drill holes, you put dynamite in. The guys in red are those guys who are actually putting the explosives in. That dynamite is then exploded, you record, and what you can see on the lower right corner is an abandoned exploration well which was supposedly dry, and all the black stuff on the surface is actually oil still coming out of this dry well. So I think there are lot more of these dry wells which actually are not dry wells, and hopefully I will find them all. Now, this is one of the first lines we shot last March in an area which has never seen seismic. And what you can see in red is the indicated areas of sandstones where usually gas occurs. We had special processing done, and there is a special processing which is called amplitude versus offset, and that actually tells you if there is gas in the sands, and we have that exactly there. And this is where all the other wells in the area have found gas, and this is where we believe we will find gas, and we have all the right ingredients for it. The bump on the bottom, where you see this green stuff, is where the oil target is, and all these bumps, wherever you have drilled them in the Pannonian Basin in the area, had oil. This has never been seen because we shot seismic in between wherever else somebody else had shot seismic. So we are hoping that this will be the next discovery. And fortunately, it's actually a multiple target. It's not just gas is over here and oil is over here. No, it's rightly stacked on top of each other. Very nice. Now, oops, just watch this quietly and focus. What it shows you are slices like a tomography through the earth from our 3D seismic offshore Sicily. Every slice is about 200 meters apart and moves through the earth. Every slice shows you a different position of the earth and of the crust. And all of this you see here is actually the so-called Pantelleria Graben, which is a low between Africa and Sicily. Seabed on the top, reservoirs on the bottom. The right-hand side is, you could say, Italy. The left-hand side is Africa. And as you move through in continuation, it shows you a different slice and also shows you a different relative position in the subsurface. Top again is about 300 meters subsea. Bottom is roughly about 6 kilometers. On the left lower side, you see now you can almost hear it moving and making noise. Is the earth crust moving from the left side to the right side, and what we call an overthrust, moving the particular package on the left side over and above the earth on the right side. And this bump, which I think you understand what I call now a bump, is what we call the Duga West prospect. Now we're moving out of the prospect further to the northeast, and it flattens out. And to the left there is another one developing, which for us is great excitement, because we know that there are not just one. There's not just one prospect. There are many others. I should put volume to this so you can hear it crunching. Thank you. Now, what's the near-term forecast? We will, in North Africa, in Tunisia, have continued our development feasibility studies. We will farm out our offshore acreage. We will drill an appraisal well on the Duga gas condensate field. We will intend to drill an exploration well on the Duga West structure. Most importantly, on a very short term, we will complete our onshore Romania seismic, and by next year, same time, we will drill or have already drilled our onshore well in Romania. Now, this is a summary, what we will have next year, same time. Near-term oil and gas production on a Romanian seismic you just saw before, gas on top, oil below. And, thank you very much, offshore Sicily Channel, we have Duga West, we have Duga and Lambuca. It's definitely a transformational opportunity, considering we believe we have about 1 billion barrels of oil equivalent in the area, which all can be tapped with these wells. The disclaimer, don't believe a word I said, and contact us whenever you like. Thank you very much.
Don't go away. What a great story.